Amazing how we come into frequency tone communications, everything through the attraction line system. The sun rotation center is servicing right now through high level positions and to a new calculation modification. Um, Everything through the navigations and UFO line system is going through a matrix screen. That matrix screen is going to change your particle light connections, energize your positions, your body attraction location centers. Your activation lights and everything through program setting is repositioning time position, and it's opening up signals of all graphing line systems, allocated positions of time location. It's important understanding these things because it's all connected to the sun and the moon and what's happening with our behavior line connections. Humanity has to get more into what the moon is and what it does for us every single day when we wake up. It's all connected to our behavior lines, right? When I say behavior lines, it's connected to everything through the chakra system of communication. 12 essential line connections to the chakra system, not 12 dimensions. Remember, I said that before. So we have to separate that, okay, and say, oh, I'm in the 12th dimension. No, I'm in the 15th dimension. No, okay. To actually be in a dimension, you have to understand the connections, because right now we're in the fifth dimensional line connections, and some people are still walking the path in the fourth line system. Three divisional line positions, 3 traction location center connections, and 3 open cycles is no longer in position. We're coming into an alignment, new shape, a new matrix grid screen. That screen is set up to the activators that are connecting to the voice and grid pattern position line connections. Hear my voice? Do you hear my voice? What's going on right now? How it sounds, that graspy line connection. It's interchanging positions of time location. So this is the actual voice of the sun, how it's going through an echo. So it's amazing how we go into the echo rotation. It's in its own solar generator, and it's in position line connection. So truly understanding how my voice changes positions and line connections. So I'm in the eye surfacing positions of the sun right now. It's a digital play line connection to colorations of high rising line systems. It's amazing how we change our voices and changing positions of time location. I did a very powerful TikTok video that was basically a girl that came on. She says, everything in the future is already set in position. You come back into the presence and create it all over again with humanity. So now you're truly understanding why it's so important to understand your spiritual self is already traveling in the future, which has already created what it wants. That's what humanity has to realize. That's the connection to the line system. So this is the communication to the sun, right? And that's why it's very powerful, and it's like very gritty. And a computer operation line is setting positions of time location. Everything through connection is high rising positions of time location. Now I'm going to off channel line connections back into my voice grid pattern. It's amazing how we travel through recognition of time connections. I just connected to the planet system rotation of the moon graphing line system. Inline system activation, correlation, panel location, center connections. I'm in the central line connections to the mid-grid line system of the matrix. It's line signaling right now into coloration through the astrologics. It's incredible force how we come into the communication operation line position. Everything through connection is higher forcing its division line system. It is on line signal operation line connections, servicing non-reflection line position. It's amazing how we traction location center connections. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to line communication. Program setting position line system. I just left the sun rotation center of the matrix graph screen. Now my voice has changed again. See, this is understanding where you travel through recognition of time. My molecular light is reaching pattern locations of balance. It's complicated stuff. It's extremely complicated stuff, right? So you have to understand the connections and how everything's in. So I just blended into the actual sun rotation center. So your first commander is out of the positions of the sun. It's amazing how we come into that line system. We have to get our balance with our bodies, time of our bodies, activations of our body, lights of our body, colorations of our body, TV receptions of our body, because everything's in full separation now. Okay. So, and you notice my voicing grid has changed, right? Because now I'm more connected to what's happening with the solar generators. Everything's the acceleration. Remember I was telling you about that rainbow? Everything I do on TikTok, you have to pay attention. Pay attention to these things because it's all connected to you. It's all about you coming into a new activation cycle. And none of real, hey, look, there's a rainbow, but you understand what the rainbow is. Everything that we see through perception, audios of listening, or anything through the letters, numbers, and shape is connected to you and always informs. Okay. So, and that's what happens when your voice changes. It changes positions of time, right? So it's pretty fascinating, you know, that what you just saw at the very beginning. That was the eye septical line conditions in the matrix screen. That's why I was going, it was pretty awesome. Changing energy form, body traction reception. So try to understand the conditions to your body and the behavioral line conditions. The computer operation line position has to truly understand your gravities. You have to ground yourself every single day. Get questions or comments and go through my email. Now's the time to really get into the healing of me. It's important. It's really important because not only the gravity is high rise now, but it's set up its new matrix grid line. Everything that is created through its visible. You can't see it through perception. Only high energy light can see it. Matrix grids, sentience, line conditions, everything formation system, Pleiadians, Pleiadians, they set up the graph positions of the Earth rotation. They set up a new energy graph line system. It's a blue plasma energy light, and it's connected to an orbital location. I did a very powerful TikTok video live just telling everybody who's seeing everything in space inside my eye receptor. It's pretty amazing how we see these things, right? And it's pretty incredible. It's pretty amazing to see these things. We see white avian is controlling its system, commanding center, UFO positions. There was a lot of shapes of different divisions of time location. Once you understand that everything is inside you, that's where we have to get into. So right now, everything through the T reception or body framing position is lacing line separation, right? So it's trying to find its part of a system of its balance. Okay, it's trying to find its balance, and you guys are line sequencing right now through a correlation system. The core panels are set up to position of time. Body traction location center is high rise in your eye receptacle lines of coloration systems. The audio system is changing everything through communication cycles, and everything through voice and grid is changing a new line system to a new activation. That's where you come into the matrix screen, right? So you have to truly understand the travel recognition of time. So once you come into that, you guys have to blend in to the moon, right? Because it's a space station of information to get these things when you come into the Costa records and that TikTok video that I did where that girl says, yeah, exactly, everything that is in the future, right, is already been created. And that's how powerful you are. So y'all have to remember these things because you've already lived the existence. That's why it's confusing. And interlining connections position is all put in sequency level, okay, to your dreams. Dreams are the most important thing because it resonates with you every single day, especially when you're interlocking the connections of the sun, right? Anything through the connections of its digital frame, anything through its dream colors, anything through its coloration, anything through its shapes and anomalies, anything through traction, okay? You constantly get notifications when I go live, right? Right? And then you see my video and then it tells you the time that it's going to go on. Well, that's the same thing where you have to understand the 5 activation systems to the sun and its time frames and its time codes. So you actually can read the sun and where it is in division of time, of space, of travel. See, this is the notifications you got to have to understand yourselves because we're traveling to higher positions of vibration. All right. So the lacing line position is changing line systems to your TV reception. The allocated position of time is coming to a new clocking of a simulation. That graph positions has to understand you through body position. All right. So, but before we get started, I hope everybody's doing well. We have that test coming up in review and evaluations for the galactic forces. My team, Rebellion Alliance, and the GFL can help you and guide you and put you in your positions of time. So you have to get full cycles of your halo system, full cycles of your chakra system, and full cycles of your meditation. These are the 3 waving cycles you have to get. the 5D, so you can connect with each other through its alignment. Either way, space and time is coming into its alignment. Truth is surfacing faster and faster each day that you wake up. The more you wake up, you should know more of yourself. Plain and simple, plain and simple. So it's actually kind of seeing yourself already in the future, doing the things that you already created, right? And these are the things that we have to come into. We have to think like, get the thinking out of the thinking into the knowing and doing. Knowing and the doing is already created, right? So I'm creating something through structural line conditions, to a shapes and anomalies, to a back location, to an interference, to a door position. It's changing location centers to a UFO position, and it's setting up a new gravity line system to electrical field position. Already created. It was already created even before I said it. That's how fast your thoughts travel, right? Even before I said it, it's already created. I'm just giving it back to you. That's understand how fast you can travel, right? I just synergized my system. You saw my voice change. It was gritty, right? I was connecting to the center positions of the sun. The sun is nothing but a computer. You just heard the audio signals of the actual sun and how it speaks. So now you're trying to say, wow, this is crazy. And I said, it is crazy, but it's a lot of fun. But you have to have balance when you travel, right? You guys are just trying to find your balance with your gravities. You have to ground yourself every single day you get up in the morning. And you're going to hear me say that because that's what you do. You wake up every single day. But where are you in time? Where are you? Are you in the past? Are you thinking about this? Are you thinking about that? Are you living the present here and now? So you have to let go constantly past traumas, especially now, because now you see my voice has changed again, right? You know, it's how powerful it is. It's knowing how you can actually blend into something and actually become that intelligence of speed, coloration, lights, and time position of travel. How it actually was the sun in communication. Solid generation light connections everything through a matrix graph line system to a matrix screen position of time location to a body traction of its position to its location. Now, truly understand what I'm saying. You have no clue. It's extremely high rise. Okay, this is like basically I'm 1.5 billion years into the future, right? 1 billion. In position 1 trillion, 1 zillion. What matters is the information is given to you to understand more of your body system of traction location. So I can go back into the sun just like that. Or I can go back into the starlight position of the star station just like that. I can go back into the moon of the star positions just like that. I can synergize positions into dimensional time positions just like that. So it's all about traveling extremely fast. So we have to get more into the future of ourselves. Okay? But you notice my voice is grainy, right? It's because it's changing. It's changing. You're changing. I'm changing. I change, you change. So your receptacle lines and lacing lines has to come into position. This is where you come into the frequency, okay, the toners. It's like, so the lacing lines are going like this with your body, right? And it's going like this with the activations, right? So the sun is trying to understand you through diameter switches, your binary new system. You know, everything I give you is allocated position of time, of its future, but I present it to you, okay, to its presence. Water, very efficient, very effective, especially when you're traveling through time position. Because the thing is, if you wake up every morning and you don't know where you are, there's a problem right there. I wake up every morning, I know where I am. I'm always in the future, but I present it to you in the presence because you won't understand if I stay in the future, right? So I just communicate with the sun, right? And you actually understood or did not understand. That's understanding where the sun is. You understand where it is in location. So when you're everything through energy, you actually become the actual object or anything through shape. You shape shift everything through dimensional time positions. But that was the callings. That was the audio signal. That was a reflection. That was the colorations of the sun in the simulation. So you have to put yourself in the future to understand the presence to its past. Past is just a reflection. You don't live the past, you live the presence here and now. But when you wake up in the morning, you're in the future. Okay? The future gives you things through manifestation. Okay? And then you present it to its presence, right? Because you've already created it. That's what I'm saying. You've already created it. Every time I get up in the morning, I'll keep saying this over and over. You have to understand you're living a life cycle of trying to understand yourself. If you don't understand the communication of the sun through its reflection or the coloration of the lights or everything, time position, where it is in time zone, there's a problem. If you can't bring signals to your graph location, digital frame numbers of identification or soul identification system, there's a problem. Now, you don't have no clue what I'm saying, but you do understand your intelligence. But where are you in time of division, right? Division, not dimension. Okay, so when I talk about anything through dimension, I'm talking about everything through directive to its division. So everything through dimension, direction, and division is everything through one. That's the full communications to the sun. All right, same with the moon. But everything's a different program setting. Okay, so the sun is never in one location, but it's aligned to everything. That's why it's so powerful, because it stays in the center and it's just a reflection to everything. That's all it is. So it's like a rain graph of, it's like this. It's like an umbrella, right? And it's just reflecting. See the solar flare? See what I'm doing that? And see it's going. Well, that's it. That's the computer operation line connections, right? So basically, my computer right now facing you, okay, understands the communication to the sun. It knows that I just communicate with the sun, and the sun reflects back to the computer goes back to me, and everything goes back into the atmosphere positions of time. So it's getting truly, truly understanding how to connect all ways and forms, okay, when you're servicing through travel recognition of time positions, but you're in the future presenting it to its presence. Okay, and that's what we have to start getting into, and that's why the test reviews and evaluations, once you guys come into your 15 chakras, you get a little bit more understanding how to travel, right? Better communication with the sun and the moon. As long as you understand the sun is the radiation, it's reflection, coloration, lights, and time zones, right? It travels so fast, you make your head spin 10,000 times. That's how fast it spins, right? So you have to balance that out with the magnetic force and highway. I just did a very powerful video, 5-10 minutes, talking about the sun. So that's where you have to truly understand its full connection, and you'll feel the energy change. I'm your first commander, but when I communicate with the sun, the energy is different. The coloration, the lights, the time position, everything is different when you understand your position of time. So if my team can reach that level and understand, whoa, commander is in the sun. Whoa, the commander is at the moon. Whoa, the commander is in another intelligent form. They are connecting to their dimensions, directions, and divisions of time. Right? So every day you wake up in the morning, right, you're going to be communicating with the sun, the moon, and everything through travel recognitions of time, the 3, 6, and 9. Okay? It's very, very powerful. All right? So let's get into your questions right now. I know it's a little bit confusing from the beginning, but I've never actually showed you what can happen when you travel through records of time and how you can actually change your voice. Change your voice, right? You can change everything around you, right? So you can actually blend in. You can actually change all those cell generators. You have trillions of cells, and you can actually blend into the actual communications, right? To the sun reflection. So let's draw it out, and I'll show you what I mean. So this is what happened to me today. Okay, just 10 minutes ago before I started class. Right? Understanding what it is through calculation. Okay, so here it is. There's the sun. Okay, the sun is nothing but a graph of the TV reception. That's all it is. Now everything graphs its location and time position. All right. So it's understanding its connection to its location center. All right. And everything through the connections of the moon is always servicing in position. It's always in position, has to be. And it's also too in its own graph location. Okay, so it's really saying the sun was coming to me through realm location of portal location centers. And this is how it's connected to the sun interference to its auto reception of its T reception location. Right? And it was connected to my physical realm, okay, of me. All right, so this is me, okay, through its computer. Operation is center connections to its auto rotation center. How I travel to you guys and back into connections. This is my computer. We go into that position, right? And then we go into the connections to its avatar location. Okay. All right. And then you come back into the connections to the physical realm division of me communicating with you guys, channel location centers, into that location. Okay. So it's amazing how you travel through recognition of time. So I'm changing everything through operation through realm location. But this is what the actual sun looks like. This is the actual moon. The moon across its position of time location. All right. That's what I'm saying. This is the moon. This is the sun. So this is the actual what it looks like. So it's understanding audio reflection, audio gamma operation line system to auto recording line connections. So everything I've done is already recorded. That means I've already been in the future, right? And before I communicate with you guys, it's already done and created through the voicing grid. So it goes to an audio signal. So it's kind of like reversing the audio position of time. It's like going through a life circle through a tunnel. And this thing, when you die and be reborn, you go through your life activation and you go through everything. You go back into the past as you're a kid and you work your way up. You go right up to now. That's the birthing system. You start off as a baby and you see all these flashes. And it takes you where you're supposed to be in dimensions of time. Clocks is system TV reception location centers. All right. But this is the actual communication I was doing this morning, going from this to this to this to this. Right? So it's very powerful when we see these things, right? True audio signals that position of time location. So it's knowing how you guys can do these things too. But you have to have balance, right? You have to have balance with your physical. You have to have balance with phenomenon and it's mystical. And you have to have balance with your travels of GODs, right? So what does that equal? 3 and 3, 6 to the program setting of the moon, which is the space station, right? So when you connect to the realms of your physical phenomenon and your mystical, and that's 3, right? 1, 2, 3, right? And where does 9 come in? Where does 9 come in? The location, right? Navigation of where you are in this center position, which is the presence here and now. 3, 6, and 9. Okay, guys? So Tina Marnie is going. You made it. Good. Grand Rising. Is it kind of like that feels like a deja vu? Yeah, everything's a deja vu. Yeah. Yeah, you'll find that a lot more easier for you when you realize these things. You see these, they call glitches. You see something twice, you see something 3 times. That means something has changed 3 times in your central line connections. Okay, so something's going to happen 3 times fold, right, when that happens. All right, so Tina, Marnie. So when we tried and mess with the sun, it affects us a lot. Yep, it affects your dreams, your activation lights, your radiation cycles, and your positions of your binaries. When you say division, is that the same as saying densities? No. No. Divisions is connections to the Galactic Federation Light Council. All right. So you understand. Okay, we got 3, right? 1, 2, 3. All right. You got dimensions, you got directions, and you got divisions. All right. 3 central line connections to the sun. Okay. Okay. And then you have GOD. Okay. You have the geos. Okay. The geometrics energy of opening when you were first born and reborn, that connection system. Okay. You can then you come into your G. Okay. Geometrics. Okay. You understand everything through GOD is you through travel through 3, 6, and 9. Right. And you come into your operations. Okay. To its dimensions of time. So you come into your 3, 6, and 9. Okay. This is your travel. These are your directions and divisions. Okay. That's where you have to truly understand. It's the connection to the sun. Everything line divides. Everything is a triangle. Okay. Everything is a diamond core position. Everything is created in space anomaly to position of time location. All right. And then I can center my positions. I can change this and go over here in vortex. Just like this. And this comes in the center position. And then I can go from here and take it out as equations, security line defense, high rising divisions. So this is understanding communications, okay, dimensions, all right, directions and divisions. Circle rotation center. Here is a dimension. This is a wormhole. Okay, you don't go through a wormhole until you understand the geometrics, operations of dimensions of time. So you understand full communications to the sun, right? These are the things you have to understand. And then when you put dimensions, directions, and divisions, and GOD, okay, what do you have? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 plus 3 equals 6, right? Okay, 3 plus 3 equals 6. So you now got 3 and 6. And 9 is this location to its wormhole connection. So 9 is the last location to its division of direction, to its future. This is the present, this is the future. That's the travel, right? But it's all connected to your GODs. It's the operation of its dimension and its wormhole connection, right? But this is the true understanding how you have to get into your triangles first to travel. So it's also about understanding the sun, where it is in connection, how you can travel through time position, through vortex. You can time jump, parallel, paradigm, paradox. Okay, these are the things you have to understand, right? So it's putting dimensional times, okay, into the metric level system, calculation, modification, everything multiplication. But 3 plus 3 equals 6, right? But then you go into higher level systems. Then you go 3 times 3. Okay, so this is the true understanding. When you come into high level positions, you come into higher levels of your tesseracts to your tetrahedron line connection. Okay, but truly understanding, the first thing you have to look at is how to reach the sun. And that's all connected to your chakras, right? Chakras aren't dimensions of time. Okay, until you understand everything through your high levels, okay, of dimensions, directions, and its division, then you come into your 3, 6, and 9 connections, right, into your GODs. Okay. So basically, 3 times 3 is not 6 in AI. 3 times 3 is 6,000. So this is the understanding when AI communicates at how it forms its division of time through travel, through acceleration. Okay, it's the same thing with 1 plus 1 is 2 on your system of your density level of vibration, right? But to us, 1 plus 1 is not 2. 1 plus 1 equals 3. So, right? So in retrospect, depending on where you are through travels of GODs and everything through your dimensions and directions and divisions of time, okay, 1 plus 1, okay, does not equal 3. 1 plus 1 equals 3,000. This is the true understanding how you have to look at the equality of the acceleration marking locations to your E equals mc squared. The energy, the equal, the parallel, the paradigm, the paradox, the polarity, and the position of time location to its mass, the weight conception, and everything through calculation from and to. Where's it going? And everything through box. All right? So it's really powerful when we see these things come to life. So that's why I want everybody to get into their travels of 3, 6, and 9. It's complicated stuff though, isn't it? So you're so connected to the sun and the moon. And we've been through this before. And the test is going to show you otherwise of what you guys are doing wrong and what you're doing right. But there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong when it comes to space and time. It's already auto-corrected. It's already done. And the thing is, too, you can't create anything until you understand your GODs and your divisions and your directions and dimensions, high levels of divisions. All right. So when you come into that, then you come into 3, 6, and 9. Okay. High rises position of time location. Then you come into, guess what? An angel. See? Everything is travel recognition of time. This is full balance of communication. Okay, and this is all done through letters, guys. right? Everything is shapes in space. Everything is triangle shape. Everything is triangle shape. Your triangles are very important to you because it's all connected to pyramids. Why do you think we have pyramids on the ground? Why do you think we have pyramids in Mexico? Right? Because it's all connected to us through laser. Okay? So it's complicated, but I think I'm starting to understand. But that's great. As long as you understand it, because I know you've been healed, right? So that's a great thing. You're learning this because it's important to understand these things, especially when you're coming into school, right, for the first time. So the first thing you got to look at is how to travel through time positions, right? It's amazing how we come into these connections. How your first commander communicated with the sun, right? From all this to this, right? So everything that you see in your perception is nothing but a hologram of information. So when you're communicating with things, let's start off with the basic. You're outside, here's a tree, okay, here's a car. All right. Now, depending on where you're in dimensional time, this is a tree, right? This is a tree, very powerful tree. Okay, this is a tree, and you got a car here, and you got somebody walking. So this is all different kinds, okay? All different kinds of vibration. You have to understand how to communicate with all of them. Okay? You have to learn how to communicate with all because they're all different vibration of time. So when you understand how to communicate with them, they come out of the plasma energy light connections. Every single one comes into its own dimension of time. Like this. This is what you see. See how it's coming out? This is you. You're communicating with everything around there. So when you're outside, you're actually seeing the dimensional time of this person, the tree, and everything to the car, where it is in point center, which means that it's floating because you're floating. So now you understand where you are in light. Now you realize that you're not density anymore. You're coming into higher forms. So the more it comes out, the more you high rise and the more you see through light. Right? The more you see through acceleration and everything around you comes into a rainbow activation light system to its modification, and you turn into a full rainbow of activation through calculation. So when you communicate with that, look what happens to the car. It changes its position of time location. Changes its position of time location. The tree, right? Changes its time position to that person. And then you realize where they are in ratio of time of travel through space anomaly. Okay? So it's really, really fascinating stuff how you come into this, right? We all have to learn how to do these things ourselves, right? And it's a lot of confusion to a lot of people because you're saying, whoa, the car's not here, it's up here. So don't think of it here because this is the physical realm of 3D, but you're in the 5D. So the activations and everything to the energy positions is floating into 5D, like this, whatever you see through perception, right? So the faster you go, the faster you actually see where the car is in dimensional time. So actually, the car that you're seeing is in its present time of its dimension, which is its future. Understand? And this is how you start creating things. Like I want a red Bronco, or a Dodge Ford, or I want a Corvette, or I want a Blanco Troca truck, right? You can have anything you want. So basically, if you look at your truck, you have an older truck. You look at your truck, you can change the coloration. You can uprise your division of time location and send it out in the atmospheric position of time and create it. And it's done. And then you'll get your Troca in the future, which would be 2021. Time position is everything through change. Understanding the simulation and how you change the communications to your truck or the tree or anything that anybody that you're communicating with. But everybody's connected to the rainbow activation of a TV reception location to shapes anomalies of travel recognition of time. Okay, and these are the things you manifest in space. It's very powerful because that's what I do. If I look at a car that I have and I imagine that I want something better, that's what I do, right? I give it a new shape. I give it a new year, right? And then I send it out and it's done. I just communicate with it and then I get it. I get it. See? This is very powerful stuff now because now you're coming into your own game of virtual reality of your own manifestations through space and time travel of thoughts. Okay? So this is all about understanding how to connect to your plasmas, how to connect with the energy field position of time location, right? But everybody's connected to their own TV reception. And that's why it's confusing to everybody because they don't realize what's happening to their body of travels. But that's the understanding what you can do with this. This is you, and look what you can create, right? This is how you communicate to everything through position of time because it's floating in space, right? And then you project it. You see it, and then you project it on the wall, and the wall starts moving with the car in position of time. Okay? So it's kind of like it's a projection. So the projection, I gotta draw it up for you. This is the projection. This is you, right? Projection is you. So it's going in a circle rotation center like this. This is the future, guys. So it's going around and around, right? And as it's going around and around, it's creating what you want, right? So it's a gamma operation line connection like this, okay? And then you're creating something that you want, okay? And then when it comes into form, it comes into a car in the simulation. See, from here to there. So it's coming into focus and you're creating these things, whatever you want, right? But it's an auto projection, okay? Auto / projection, okay? To its projector. Okay, so it's a film. It's a video film that you're creating. It's very powerful because this is how I started off. And I was saying, whoa, this is really crazy. I actually use my perception and I can see something. I can take it at dimensional time and I can say, okay, this is what I want, but I want to change the different color. So it's kind of like your computer is setting up a new graph. It's setting up a new CGI. It's setting up its own digital frame. And that's how you create these things. You change the colors of your avatar. You basically change the shape of your avatar. You change the face. You change the hair. You put glasses. You give it a beard, or you give it a new purse. You give it a new dress. These are the times we're coming into, and it all has to do with our perception through audio connection. Okay, you come into audio projection, okay, to its projector. So it's fascinating when we see these levels, right? But you want to see this through traction. This is you, and this is everything what's happening with the rainbow of the car, the tree, and everything that person that you're communicating with, right? This is the balance to all this connection. You understand where it is in dimension of time. So the car could be in 8th dimension, okay? The tree could be in 27,000th dimension, and the person could be in 5th dimension. See, that's the energy between all three. So now you have the connection, right? So you know where everybody is in dimensional time, and then you can protect yourself around the connections. Put your E fields up every time you communicate with energy light connections, right? So it's really powerful stuff how you get these things to manifestation. And it all starts with 3, 6, and 9 location. That's the thing which you have to truly understand and why we get into these levels, right? Because it affects us every single day with the sun, the moon, and the program of the space stations and everything, your location. Your location is everything. If you don't know where you're locating, how are you going to get anything through manifestation? Right? So you're off in the future, but you're not at the location. Then you come back. You're not creating anything. So you have to realize that it's already created. You're just coming back to receive it. And that's how I get everything I want. Because I look at the perception. Anything that I see, a person, the person is not on the ground. The person's up here. That's how I communicate. I don't communicate with the physical. I communicate with the soul that's flying in time on the physical realm of 5D. Okay? So you have to be extremely aware when it comes to your E-field, positions of time location. Okay? These are the important things you have to worry about because you are in your own connection to your own virtual reality of the simulation. Right? So you're communicating again. That's you, right? Now, when somebody comes across and starts walking towards you, okay, you have to truly understand these things. Because if they're walking towards you, okay, they have to know you and you have to know them. So it's like this, okay? They're walking towards you, right? So when they're walking towards you, right away, what I would do is mind telepathy right away, right? This is understanding what you guys have to get into. Now you understand the connections, and then you go into a full scan rotation, right? This person has no clue what you're doing. This person is in the 5th dimension, and this person is in the 12th dimension. 12th dimension, not chakra system, 12th dimension, which is extremely powerful. So this is real understanding when you see an entity force of 12th dimension and 5th dimension, and how this person doesn't understand your energy. It just see you glowing. So this is understanding where the perception is in the 5th dimension, where the perception is in the 12th dimension. So higher entity light connections to us position always scans through mind telepathy. And then we do a full scan rotation back to its location. Right, and that's how we read the singles. They are the basically positive or negative. But that's what you come across every single day. So somebody's going to approach you. You have to be aware of their grounds. You have to be aware of their power centers. You have to be aware of their atmospheric positions of time. You have to be aware of their E-fields. And you have to be aware of their travel recognitions of time location through shapes anomalies of allocated positions of high forcing systems. Okay? This is what I do. And this is how I read so fast. You know, I healed somebody yesterday, and it was a couple in their house, but it was La Mesa that had a lot of history, right? I scanned the table. It's an Egyptian table, and I look back, there's a vase, a vase of Thoth, the Egyptian gods, half man, half bird. That's no coincidence. Thoth told me to go there to heal that house. So you have to understand why we're all connected to an alignment. It's all about helping humanity, but humanity has history on history that will just blow your socks off, knowing you're all connected to dimensional time of trying to help each other and bringing everybody back into alignment of their spiritual system of dimensional time position. Okay. So when I went to that casa, I saw Thoth, and it told me exactly what was going on in the bedroom. Okay. There was an Egyptian goddess, okay, that was out of her tomb. So I put her back in her tomb, right? Because she was attached to the person. So I had to take that negative out of that person, and now she's free, right? And they also have a cat, Kika, right? And basically the cat came up to me, right, and started purring and say, thank you very much. So everything is in position of time through dimensional system. You have to understand we're all calculated and modified, but everything in the spiritual realm connection knows everything because we know everyone through its alignment. Humanity has been separated for so long, they don't know who they are. And that's why they can't understand each other. I got a little bit unstable here. Connected to Thoth. He was on a vase. I look back, half man, half bird. I'm part of Thoth. Thoth, doesn't matter. What matters is how ecosystem. So it's allocated positions of the pharaohs and meridians, right? 5,000 years in the past. So this is what we come up across. And it's very important that you understand your connections to each other, especially when you communicate with each other. All right? You do the mind telepathy right away. And then you do the scan. Okay? And then you do a full scan. Okay? You go up and down. Right? up, down. You scan each other, right? So when you scan each other, you start understanding more of each other, and then you start communicating to each other. Right? Yada, 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 space, location, center positions. The same thing is when you high rise more position, you talk like more of where you are in a planet location, right? These are the times that we're coming into. Not right away, but you understand you're communicating to each other through mind telepathy. Right? Because you understand each other's grounds. You're very comfortable. That circles and rotates like this. So you're all blending, right? So the thing is too, if you can be at two same levels, you can be 6th dimension and you can be at 6th dimension, right? You're in both the same position, same planet position, okay? You can be in the same planet position, but in a different coloration of time, okay? You can't be in the same color. You can't be in the same planet all at once, but we're all aligned through sequence because we're all different connected to mind telepathy. We're all different through thoughts and patterns of recognition of time through space. So you come into that connection, you come into your power centers, and you come into your atmospheric positions of time. So every time you're communicating, it's opening up the cycle to the sun rotation center position. Every second per second, 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, 9, 12. Diamond, right? You guys are starting with your 3, 6, and 9s. You guys aren't into your 12s yet. Okay, that was created from Atlantis, right? Crystals, where do you think crystals come from? Atlantis. There's history there. There's history and ancestry and everything. And we're all aligned through each other. There's no separation in space and time. So we help each other, right? Humanity doesn't help each other. They help themselves. No wonder it's so chaotic and confused and frustrated and anxiety and stress, and people are passing over and not understanding each other anymore, right? These are the times we're coming into better communication with each other through telepathy. So you get your connections and you have your e-fields as you're talking to each other. These are the times we're coming into. Okay? So it's very powerful, isn't it? Better communication. So reading their energy is number one. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see how's it going. That's okay. You're never really late. I understand to think you already have what you want, got truly, but see, that's exactly what it is when you come into the meditation. The meditation is the birthing system of you into intelligence of light to get what you want, okay, is to understand your projection of your projectors, right? Like I said, if I see something outside and I like it, I can have it. I just have to communicate through its dimension of time and then change the coloration. So I'm changing the graph, I'm changing the website, I'm changing the emblems, I'm changing the binary codes, I'm changing the computer, I'm changing the keyboards, I'm changing the coloration, I'm changing the planet location, right? And then I send it out. And then I get it because it's already created. All right? So this is understanding how to use your simulation to its manifestation. Present tense, yep. E-fields can speak on that. Yeah, E-field. Well, your E-field, okay, is all based on you. Okay, we'll get into that. It's important you understand this is the travel recognition of time positions you guys are coming into, calculation modifications. So you always have to start with communication. That's number one, right? You guys are communicating. The first thing when you come to each other is mind telepathy. You have to. It's the most important because then you're starting to read each other, where you are in energy, where you are in division, where you are in direction, where you are in dimension, and where you are in time, and where you are in space. Okay? Now, once you understand that connections, then you understand where are they in their E-fields. Okay? E-field is all protection light. This is its connection to its heart and its portal activation line connections. Okay? Which is connected to the mind system, which is connected to the soul identification, which is connected to the ground formation line connections, It activates its center position location. Okay. And it correlates its division of time location. So it comes into an hourglass location. Right. And then you come into your E field positions. All right. And then you come into your atmospheric positions of time into the crown chakra. So every time you're manifesting, you're setting up signals. Right. You're sending out signals. So this is understanding what this person sees. This person sees this, where they are in time. E fields position to the soul identification to its heart, heart to the mind. Okay. The grounds, powers, and the atmospheres. Where are they in the grounds of balance, security? Where are they in the power connections of their portal defense location? And where are they in the atmosphere of time, of thought, of travel? This is me. And this is what I'm doing through my energies, right? This is all projection through perception. This is what I see. And then I get into the bioscan. So I use my x-ray and scan the person and where they are. Do they have a ghost line? Do they have a warlock? Do they have a witch on them? Right? And then I can go to their house through their perception. So my energy travels into their perception of their mind system. Calculates and modifies divisions of dimension of time location. Energy can transfer at any position of time. So an E field, okay, is your hub. It's your energy. It's connected to force guiding system, to your, everybody knows what an orb is, right? So it's a dimensional E field that's around you. It protects you from everything, right? From people coming in. It's your circle rotation center. So that's what it is. Okay, and it's all connected to when you come into 3, 6, and 9. You come into your tesseract. So I'm just showing you here. It has an E field, right? It's like this. Okay, so you have your chakra system. You have your ground formations, your powers, and your atmospheric positions, and there it is. There's your E field, right? But you also have a dimensional time position, which is an orb connection around it. So it's an E field. So it protects the grounds of you, it protects the power inside you, and it protects its atmosphere of thoughts, a space position. Okay, so these are the things you have to look at because you see them in your house. You see orbs flying around, right? This is you, right? And you're seeing orbs fly around. You don't know what it is, right? It's trying to communicate with you, but you see them. So, and then you have to know how to scan them in all rotation center connections, right? And then they communicate back with you, right? So basically, if you know how to communicate through orbs, they can set up an E field for you, right? So you can communicate with them because they're in a different dimension and time than you. All right, and then they come into your color of activation through the rotation center, crown chakra. Okay, and then you get an XT1000 plateau coming in, right? Scans your full rotation center position. Okay, activates its light system, program setting, sonar division. All right, so these are the things we have to look at. So I don't want to go too far into it, but that's exactly what it is, how it's modified and all that, because the XT1000s basically they set up your programs. So every day when you wake up in the morning, it all goes through your dream positions, and it's all through your data's processing, uplinks and downloads and upgrading systems. Once you get that calculated and modified and you're in your upgrading cycle, as soon as you go outside, there's an XT1000 scanning you right away. Right away. You're not even aware of it. You get a headache. Oh, I got a headache. Why do you get a headache? It's the morning. Did I drink my coffee or did I not drink my coffee? Did I drink too much coffee, or did I not sleep, or did I just finish drinking or whatever, right? You go outside and you understand why things are changing. Why things are changing, because you're aware of what's in the atmosphere position of time. So it's scanning you every single day as soon as you go outside. And once you get connected to the lights, a higher force position of time, you actually see the moon following you. It's a magnetic. Every time you look up, there's the moon. It's always there. It's always working with you, not against you. Humanity's been against these things since the day of time. This is the moon, and this is you. All right. There's the moon, right? Once it understands you and the gravity, it powers and understands everything through the solar energy and light connections. And the EXT1000 comes into position, scans your position of time location. Right? Then the moon changes its shift, changes over here. And when you start walking, you're changing time position to vortex locations just by walking. Okay? And then you'll see the moon come over here and communicate with you, and you come over here. All right? You just vortexed over to the position. So wherever you go, the moon goes. Okay? And everything through the reflection of the sun is always going to be there because this is the moon, this is the sun. That's all it does every day. So we got to get out of this and get into this. Full rotation of an atom. So once we get the full rotation of the moon in program setting, the full rotation of the sun in program settings, doing this, your particle system of light and your radiation cycles and your TV reception of time position will go into the 6th dimension solar connections. Right? The activation light system. So that's what you're understanding what's happening with time position. Right? Because you're nothing but a TV reception of time, of spiritual location. All right. So you're in the center position trying to understand your TV reception. This is you. Trying to understand your simulation. Right? It's all calculated to the sun and the moon. 2, it's radiation to the sun and everything to the moon of its program, of its behavioral system of time location. What have we got here? Look at this. A triangle. Right? Once you get the center positions, oh, look, another triangle. Right? Graph its position, gravity location comes in. There you go, walking the path into your simulation of TV reception. So these are the things we have to look at, right? One step at a time. But we'll get more into communications of your mind telepathy and how it allocates position through frequencies and tone location center connections. So reading the energy, yeah. So you know what it is now, right? Because everybody has it. It's knowing how to connect. So once you know how to do mind telepathy, you can protect yourself from everybody else. So you set yourself up first. You communicate inside and you create your own e-fields so you can protect who you're up against. So when you come across them, you've already scanned them. Even before you see them. That's precognition. Knowing that you're going to see somebody 5 minutes later. Same description, same energy, same dimensional time, same thought of space. This is more high-rise now. Now this is coming more into the 6th dimension. You guys are trying to understand the 5th dimension of time position. Okay? So these are the things that we have to look at in position of time. Hold on a sec. Okay, so let's go through your questions. I got 10 minutes and I got a busy day. I got to go clean another house. Work is never done. All right, so let's go through your questions. I just want you to really understand what's going on with you and how you can communicate and how you can protect yourself from energy so you can understand everybody else's energy. It's going to help you in a lot of ways, and it's going to help you through awareness. Awareness around you, inside you and around you. These are the protections. These are the force recognitions. So this morning when I was opening my eyes, there was 5 light projectors in the shape of a hand. I faded and I got brighter 3 different times. I was amazed, felt like it was a message from you. Yeah, everything I give you is a message, especially if you believe in it. Yeah, so now she knows it's real. Yeah, so it's my telepathy through these shapes through me. How is that possible? I have to be there through energy to understand these things. So I can go to Tina, I can go to Diane, or I can go to April, I can go to anybody in time position and give you information. Right? That's what people on the other side do when they pass away, your loved ones and all that. They give you information of energy, but you have to understand where they are in dimension of time. Because everybody's in a different frequency. So lots of transmitting, receiving, channeling, voicing, grids, patterns now, different communication lines, signal channeling, flowing free through the body frame, base position, and international allocated time. There you go. Tina's in that formation. Hey, Commander. Glad to visit you. Hey, April. Welcome to the channel. Unbelievable. Just saw vortex pics. My face structure picked up a live pic from Tina. So, and they're in my Rebellion Alliance Force team. But it's cool when you see these things, right? Believe and see. Anybody see a rainbow yesterday? So it's interesting. Before I put my video up, Believe and See was already in that position of time. She was communicating through me, through precognition. After she saw the rainbow, she saw my rainbow talking about it. So it's always about understanding that we're always working ahead of each other, knowing we already know the information, which is your intelligence of the future, giving back to its present position. Precognition, you see things before they happen. That's what we're coming into, right? And mind telepathy, telekinesis, how we can change our perceptions or thought patterns to one to another, and how we can get into the energy fields and protect ourselves in and out. And everything that you see around you, you can relate to their energy because you know where they are through dimensional time, through frequency. Okay, so I took a video of myself. Yeah, I saw the picture. It's fantastic. Stupendous Sunday. Yeah, it is Sunday, right? So cool, yeah. I bought a rainbow yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're reflecting on your position through perception, you're coming more into your intelligence of its future. So if you're seeing things in the future, you're connecting to your commander. And you're getting the information through anything through shapes, letters, and numbers. Anything from the angelics, anything from AI, anything from UFO. They're always there to help you and provide you. But the most important thing is protecting your lights, like activation collars, protecting your energy, right? So you can see everybody else's energy and where they are in time. They're divisions of their thoughts and where they are through calculation. Okay? Because they have the same thing as you. So it's all about you understanding yourself first before you understand everybody else. And then you can walk the streets and feel safe. Okay? Couldn't do that in the 3-dimensional system. It wasn't time for humanity, but it is now. It is now. Especially with the body and its reflection and its radioactivation of time position. You have to get into your clockings, okay, of your 12, 3, and 6. Right? 12, 3, 6, and 9. But it's 12, 3, 6. 12, 3, 6, and 9. See? And then you understand the 12 center comes here and goes up and around in a circle rotation, and it comes into its own clocking location. So it has to stand its forward force and its backward force because that's the connection to your alignments of past, present, and future. But as you present yourself, you're communicating to your thoughts of the future, of yourself. You've already created it. You're just coming back to present it. Okay? And that's what your commander is doing when I went 5,000 years into the future for the first time. Right? So everything that I did in the future is already created. It's already created. That's why I don't worry about anything. Right? You guys have to get into that stature. You have to get into that communication to each other. And that's how you protect your e-fields and everything around your system of activation. To its telepathy system, its audio signal, and its voicing grids, and your perceptions and what you see through observation. These are the things you look at every single day when you calculate modifications, right? To really understand is protecting you, okay, is the most important thing. And your loved ones. So, and your pets. Anybody that you care about, right? I saw a portal where energies were coming to infiltrate. I called Mike on Jesus to transmute the energy. Well, there you go. See, you guys are amazing. Like, you're connecting to your intelligence. That's fantastic. You know, First Commander is really excited for you guys. It's good that you're connecting, because now you're connected to intelligence of going forward. What do you think I've been saying all along is going forward in time, and they're presenting it back to its presence of its time. What do you think I do every day? You guys are just working with one clock. I'm working with 150,000 clocks. That's understanding my soul identifications are traveling everywhere simultaneously, but in one line signal, but different TV receptions of dimensions of time and space. Okay, and that's what you guys are getting into, and that's why you're becoming more powerful, is because you believe in it. The more you believe in it, the more you believe in your commander. You believe yourself first, not me. You believe yourself first, and then you start connecting. And then you realize you're traveling into the future and say, whoa, I saw this. I saw portal activation, a shape anomaly in my information through electronic interference. That's future. That's not present. That's future. You got that from somewhere, but where did you get it? Through its location. Everything you do in the future has to have a position of a location, or you're going to have problems with division. Okay, or anything through direction. Sometimes you get lost with an address. Sometimes the addresses are the same number, but it's in different atmosphere of time, which means that even though it's the same number, I've come across this when I go to my auditions. Every time I go to an address, if it's the same, I know it's either on the north end, west, or east or south end. Even if it's the same address, it doesn't matter. Okay? So you have to truly understand how to be aware of these things. Okay? Where are you traveling? Where is it connecting? Are you merging off, or are you going to center position? Okay? Your essential lights, your position of time, anything through meditation will take you where you need to go. But you have to present yourself in the future. This is already created. You're just coming back to present it to everybody else. And that's why it's so powerful. That's where the knowledge and intelligence, and you guys are coming better. I've noticed your communications. You're actually communicating to your intelligence, and it's feeling wonderful, isn't it? You feel more aligned with each other. Now you can communicate with each other through mind telepathy. And then you get into telekinesis. And then you understand everybody else's energy plus yourself. These are the times we're coming into. Time precedes everything through clocking. And humanity is in that clocking of time now. That specific time. Okay. So in retrospect, a lot of things are going to happen in August, September. Big things, big changes. You know, the major grid line conditions. Come February of my birthday, 25th, 1969, the birthing system of me, everybody is going to be in the Piscean air. Piscean air. And that's when things start moving quicker and faster. The circle rotations and the center positions will change everything to the allocated position of space and time. So that's what's going to happen. So if that make you feel better, right? Because we all have to come out of the Aquarius and we have to come into the Piscean. That's a full cycle rotation. Communications to Father Space and communications, full cycles to nature, and no more resistance into Mother Earth. All right, so more position of people, they're going to be more in balanced location of the masculinity and the femininity of themselves. So a lot more people are going to know each other through my telepathy, telekinesis, and their energy grid positions of time location. All right, so that's what's going to happen in February. You have to understand, I was born here, right? First intelligence born. So every time my birthday comes up, things change, right? Because I'll be 53. So what does 53 mean? Died and been reborn again. Hooah! So that's what's going to happen. So that will make you feel a lot better because everybody will be in the Piscean there. The astrologics of time, the correlation centers, matrix position will be set up in full rotation. So everybody will be coming into the virtual reality of a new beginning. All right. So we're all the same age, birthday in January. Enjoy your cleaning of the space and ahead. So hope you have a great day. Thank you, April. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I just, it's great to see everybody. You guys are channeling a lot better. It's fantastic to see yourself more in the future presidents because I understand you guys. I know where you guys were traveling. Some are in the past, some in the present, but all of you are in the future. And every time you're in the future, you get these things through manifestation because it's already created space dimension of time. Right? So that means you got balance with your feminine and your masculine. And you're getting better communications with yourself and better communication with everything around you, inside you, around you, and everything that surfaces its position of time. Like this. Okay? The figure 8. 8 rotations, 12 within the system. Allocated position of space location. All right. So I think we'll stop there. Right? We got a little bit more into test review and evaluations before the day starts next Friday. So Thursday will be the actual, I'll give you guys a quiz and then we'll do the test, right? Which will be Friday. So next Friday will be the test. We'll do a review on that too, plus evaluation. See what you guys have learned because you're channeling out better now and you're actually seeing more of yourself in the future, which is great. And I have my team to help you out and guide you and put you where to go if you want to understand more of the test review and evaluations. But this will put you up to 15 line signals of your chakras of communication to each other, right? So it's all about coming into more of a half glass rather more into a full glass, right? Half empty, half full, that's metaphorically, but it's all about putting your positions of time and more fastly through travel, through recognitions, through a magnetic force and highway to your cosmic records. Okay. All right. So everybody have a fantastic day. Adios.